90% of the operational users, they say we get our reporting, especially the operational reporting, by downloading data from SAP into Excel. And that's something which I have myself seen very frequently being done in logistics, procurement, financials, order to cash, and as well as in production, especially with SAP users. And that's something which, triggers two questions. What happens to the data security? And, once the data is downloaded to Excel, and then how easy or difficult it is to make decisions when the data has been taken out of its context and, take the actions they need. So let's get going. I'm taking the example of two people. On the left, you'll see Rusty, who's really, doing it the old way. He's downloading the data from SAP into Excel, massaging the data, maybe putting it in PowerBI, and then getting someone to, and get his manager to take an action. The problem is, his 80% of the time goes to search, extract, download, and report the data, and only 20% is left to take actions. More importantly, the security of this data and the timeliness of this data, the reliability, is very much in question. The other persona is, they are using the new way when they're not only getting their information securely, but also getting it in time. It's just what is relevant and actionable for them. So here's the 9 steps Rusty follows. You might have seen this in action: launch SAP GUI, get to SAP, launch the SAP report, jump over, and once the report is run, which may take some time, download the data to Excel, massage this data in Excel, import Excel into Power BI or Tableau, whatever their reporting tool is, put this Power BI into a PowerPoint and email, and then get someone either in operations or their manager to take an action, and then, this gets acted upon. Now, a couple of things, once the data is downloaded to Excel, it is out of its context. You cannot easily take an action back in SAP. Also, what happens to the security of the data, the authorization of data, which SAP has fine-grained up to, let's say, plant or company code level, but all of that is lost once the data is in Excel. The new way, let's call it the simpler, straightforward way. Essentially, it's 1, 2, 3 steps. You grab your data from whatever you have set up in SAP and secured in SAP, and it is available within your Power BI, within Excel, and there's a link back to SAP to take the actions. So it's simple, it's secured, and it drives timely, informed decisions. Let's see how this is set up in the SAP system. So first, let's take the persona of Rusty, who, if you remember, is the one who does these 9 steps. So logging to SAP as Rusty. And there Rusty goes ahead and is running his report, which is material stock list, and let's say he runs it with a variant ESP for SAP 1, which gives him 36 odd records. Now, since he is doing it the old way, the next step he does is to download this as a spreadsheet into a local file. It gets downloaded, and here's the data. Now, this is in Excel. Now you can see, he can gets all the 36 records from different plans, whether he needs to see plan 1200, 3000, 1000, etc. or not. And then he has all of this open for editing. All of this is open for changes. If he mistypes, let's say quantity from 5600 to 56,000, that's 10 times the difference. There's no way someone can fix it or figure it out. So data reliability, the security, all of that is into question. And then he'll import that into Power BI. Now let's go to the persona of Pam, who's using the new way. So let's log in as Pam. And when she sees her list in SAP, it's basically the same report, and she uses the same variant. But since the system allows her to see only 3 plans out of hundreds set up on SAP, she is able to see 1000, 1100, 1200. That's all she's focused upon. She automatically, SAP ensures that she's getting just these 10 records, right? Now, let's see if we can get the same data on her Power BI. So we'll go on to the Power BI template. There again, we'll be running this RM07 doc and run it with the same variant. Now, since Power BI is using SAP's security not only for authentication but for authorization as well, it is going to ask for Pam's user ID and password on SAP side. When she connects, all she will see is not the 36 records, but just the 10 which are relevant for her and are authorized by the system on the SAP side. So not only what she sees what's the setup in SAP for her, but also what's secured in SAP via authorizations for her, right? And she's able to quickly figure out, hey, she needs to take an action. Some of these charts are automatically drawn for her. They could be, better visualizations, but for now, I want to focus on this small thing, which is very useful for her. Obviously, she gets a very good, visualization using Power BI. But here's the interesting thing. If she spots something which is, she needs to take an action upon, she can simply click here, and that launches SAP transaction with that particular document number directly onto the SAP GUI. And this is the web GUI. But what it does is basically get the information which is relevant to her, secured by authorizations, and then once she decides that she wants to take an action, it directly launches that particular material document from her screen. So what have we done? If you look at it, essentially what we stripped down was all the 9 steps into really, one direct connection through which she can get her work done in 3 steps. I hope you find this useful.